Hi, from the Avenue Cafe. Ben will get that announcement. And before I bring the Long Beach Coalition of Underage Drinking, I want to bring my friend Rob Altman in.
Yeah.
Because we have a comedy show. It's a combination comedy show and dinner. It's going to be an awesome event, and it's happening right here at the Avenue Cafe. Let's have a round of applause for Rob Altman. Rob, tell us about this great event coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Howie. We have a wonderful show. The Avenue Cafe presents the Robo-Rama comedy show. That's going to be Friday, August 24th. We do it with dinner and a show, or show only. You come down. Showtime is at 9 p.m. And we have the hottest acts right here in Long Beach. And we had a real ripping time last month, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep the laughs coming. And it's going to be a good time for everybody. It's a little up for everybody. So I'm going to be hosting the show. And we'd love to see you down here, 20 West Park Avenue, right here at the Avenue Cafe.
All right. And because Rob has such an amazing voice, I asked him to read this public service announcement from the Long Beach Tea Party Patriots. I like the name, Patriots. So take it away, Rob.
All right. Thank you, Howie. I really do appreciate it. The Long Beach Tea Party Patriots will be presenting a free lecture on our Constitution. That's right, freedom of religion, by Chris Ann Hall. Chris Ann is an attorney and disabled veteran. She travels all over the country teaching about the Constitution by concerned citizens. Come and hear her at the Long Beach Public Library on Thursday, August 30th. Meet and greet and networking starts at 6:30. Program starts at 7 p.m. For further information, email vct1013@aol.com. That's vct1013@aol.com. Thanks again, Howie.
Rob, somebody listening out there, I want to give me one reason, the number one reason why they should absolutely come here for this amazing comedy show.
Hey, you know, all the words of one of my good friends, Tony Soprano. You gotta get that. It's gonna be an unbelievable show. If you got stress, you got tension. It's all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Take care of it.
Well,
All my friends will be eating. Drinks for everyone. Actually, the first couple of rounds will be on Howie. Yeah, take it away.
All right, let's give it up for Rob Alden. Great job, Rob. All right. It's going to be a swinging time at the Avenue Cafe. Great food, great comedy. Come down here at the Avenue Cafe. All right, now we're going to turn a little serious. Judy, I read about this article at the on the Herald, and I quite frankly was alarmed reading some of the things in this story. And I just want to point out a couple of things that really got my attention. Number one, you had Dr. David Jernigan at the forum, and he mentioned that alcohol is the #1 drug problem in the United States, and that 4,700 people under the age of 21 die of alcohol-related causes. 4,700, that's a staggering amount. And then I read this one paragraph really jumped out at me. And it starts with your name. Biden said that 35.3% of this year's 11th graders from Long Beach reported being drunk or high 1 to 9 times in the previous 30 days, and that 37.1% of 11th graders reported drinking 5 or more drinks 1 to 5 times within the previous 2 weeks. Judy, that is really scary stuff. And I hate to hit you with that right off the bat, but that's really what jumped out at me. Let's talk about that right off the bat.
Okay, Howie, it is scary stuff. It's part of the reason, these are the numbers, part of the reason the coalition was formed in the year 2000. It's because we take an approach that looks at the environment in which all this occurs. We're less about the individual because, frankly, the change has to be community-wide. And kids drink alarmingly today, they drink dangerously. We know that. We need to get that message out to the community so that the community can say stop, so that we can protect them from themselves. And the one way to do it is to have the community on board to understand how much kids are drinking, how dangerously they're drinking, and what we can do as a community to stop it. If it's there, they'll drink it. But everywhere that you have a youth drinking, you have an adult box somewhere. Either allowing it, providing it, selling it, or simply looking away. So we look to the adults. We look to get our message out to the adults. But yes, those are scary numbers. They're scary for us. They were scary for us as a medical center. So we took a look at the whole public health crisis of underage drinking, because that's what it is. And much like seatbelts and tobacco, it's a three-pronged approach. It's increased enforcement, it's limiting access, and it's education, but not so much for the individual as for the community, so that we know what we're dealing with and what we can do.
I want to have the other people from the coalition introduce themselves and tell us why you're so passionate about this. First, Patricia Hinken, who's the chair. Patricia, talk about the Long Beach Coalition to Prevent Underage Drinking and why you're so passionate about this.
Well, back in 2000 when we started the coalition, it basically was formed by a small group of us who got together. It was the hospital leading it, it was the Long Beach Police Department, the Long Beach School District, a Long Beach bar owner, and we got together and were trained in how to approach this from a community-wide program. We had already known that, you know, underage drinking in Long Beach was a noted problem in the media. New York Magazine had actually run an article in 1999 talking about, you know, the parties in Long Beach and the youth in Long Beach doing that as a very common pastime. And we know that if a youth starts drinking by the age of 15, they're 4 times more likely to have a substance use disorder in their lifetime. And we know substance use disorders leads to crime, accidents, early death, physical health problems, school problems, and many things that in some cases has actually ruined lives and caused major tragedies. So, you know, our main belief is that we need to work, you know, the whole community together, and that's what our focus is on. And we've been together since 2000 and have made major inroads, including a Lock Up Your Liquor campaign to try to get to adults to realize that in their very own house, you know, is where oftentimes youth are getting it. We have a magnet that says, you know, that the easiest place for kids to get beer is in the refrigerator. So we're trying to get those messages out.
Okay. All right, now let's hear from a brother and sister team, Russell and Jenna Stein. Russell, talk about why you're here and why you're so passionate about this.
Hey, I'm pretty much here because, one, I had a great role model from my sister who was very involved in her community and stuff, which brought me along to it. And also just because I grew up in Long Beach, and when I hear about kids with drinking and stuff, I don't understand it. People go around, they're having house parties and stuff, they're getting drunk to the point where they can't even remember what they did that night, and they think that that's how you have a good time, which I am very strongly against. I feel if you don't remember what you did, how do you know it wasn't something horrific? So I pretty much got involved with trying to see how I can help with the community and try and change perspectives about that. And that's pretty much it.
And as my brother put, I've been with the coalition for about 10 years, and it started off, I was in Salem High School. And basically, I grew up in Long Beach as well, and you know, everyone was drinking. It was definitely an issue. And it's also more of the community. I'm really passionate about it because I've been all around the world, and there's just something different about Long Beach. The amount of access, the community as a whole. And there's just certain factors that people don't realize. Like, one thing that I constantly am telling youth is that your brain doesn't stop fully developing until you're 25. And if you start drinking when you're 15, your brain matter disappears, you have memory issues. It affects people so much that they don't even realize. But the main thing that people need to realize is it's more of a community thing, and Long Beach is very unique and different, and if you're from Long Beach, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's really where my passion comes from.
Hi, this is Steve Caro. I had a question for the coalition. What's your experience with the parents and the adults in the Long Beach community at this point? I know you have single-parent families and, you know, parents that are together, but do you see a wide diversity amongst the feelings about drinking?
Not really diversity amongst the feelings about drinking at all. It's kind of universal that one of the issues we've been able to identify through a lot of needs assessment and focus groups and things like that is that parents, for the most part, take the position that I'd rather they didn't drink, but if they're going to drink, then better safely in my house. And what they don't understand, or anyone else doesn't understand, is that the way kids drink today, it is not safe. And so it's not just a parent issue, it's everybody else's parent as well who allows it to go on. So it's a community issue, as Jenna said, and it's one of the things that we're really passionate about, because we are a small community and we can do something. We have all the pieces together.
Patricia, one thing I was reading about was that Facebook, Twitter, even restaurants in town target teens, and it's dangerous. Let's talk about what can be done about, you know, these huge companies targeting teens at such a young age about drinking.
Okay, well, one of the very important things is, let's say, to hold the alcohol industry accountable. And one of the ways to hold them accountable is to look at what influences actual use. And one of the key things is the cost of alcohol. And it's researched, you know, upside down, that we know that if they raise the price through taxation, that the use of alcohol will go down. We know that for a fact. And even though the alcohol industry will say that they support helping the problem of underage drinking, in reality they oppose tax increase, even though they know that that's been you know, proven to be extremely effective. So that's one issue, is making the alcohol industry accountable for some of the issues that are coming out of use. And the other issue is local advertising. One of the things our coalition was successful at is getting the volleyball teams to voluntarily not put alcohol advertising on the nets, and that was a voluntary thing. So, and in the community, we've talked to merchants, you know, how is alcohol placed, how is beer placed, where is it placed, is it easily accessible? All these are community actions that we can be involved in improving the situation.
Steve, Rocco had a question.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. Have you, in your research of the situation and assessing the young people, what have you found to be the reason why a lot of young people tend to drink, and they drink very excessively?
Simplistic, easy answer is because it's available and there, which is why we take a look at limiting access. There's kids at that age are risk takers. Their brains aren't fully developed. They're supposed to take risks. It's our job as the adults to stop them. So it's about access. So really, when youngsters get like minor in possession tickets and they come to the medical center for class, we often use them as a focus group. And one of the things we'll ask is, you know, what would it take for you not to drink? And the answer is, don't let us get it. So, you know, that's an important consideration for the community.
Okay, Steve, a follow-up question?
Well, I just wanted to point out that there are car crashes among underage drinking between the ages of 15 and 20. There are about 1,900 people under 21 that die every year from car crashes involving underage drinking. Young people are more susceptible to alcohol-induced impairment of their driving skills. Alcohol use interacts with conditions like depression and stress, and contributes to an estimated 300 teen suicides a year. High school students who drink are twice as likely to have seriously considered attempting suicide compared to non-drinkers. High school students who binge drink are 4 times more likely to have attempted suicide. So it kind of crosses over. If someone has a disposition of depression or any kind of psychiatric difficulties, alcohol or illegal drug use can manifest it in a really negative way. Do you see that amongst the work that you do?
Oh, absolutely do. Our coalition was born out of a treatment agency. So we get all of that, and we know that, and that's part of why we flipped into prevention. Because the thing is, if the traditional prevention was working, we wouldn't have had jobs back then. We wouldn't have had the clients to treat. So we knew we had to do it differently, and as Patty said, we were trained in the environmental prevention. And that's one of the reasons. We need to get the bigger picture so that we can stop the carnage, really. And it's not only drinking and driving, as you well know. I mean, kids die of alcohol-related deaths. They fall off balconies. They fall downstairs. In Rockville Center 3 years ago, there was a young man who was at a house party and fell backwards down the stairs. And because he was so drunk, and all the people at the party were so drunk, no one found him right away. And 2 weeks later, his parents had pulled the plug. No car was involved. So that's part of the messaging also. That it's not only drinking and driving, although that certainly is a critical issue.
Yeah, we can get to other topics about hazing and fraternities and you know, proms. You know, there's been a lot of incidents at proms and over drinking, those type of things. All right, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we are going to honor David Kasner, who got one of the real estate agents here in town, got a very prestigious award. He's also been a very loyal sponsor on the Halftime Howie show, and we're going to talk about his very prestigious honor after the break. So David Kasner is coming up on deck. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming to you live from the Avenue Cafe here in Long Beach. This is Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie, on Long Island's first and oldest radio station, 1240 AM, WGBB.